So good to have you here, Alex.
Thank you.
You just came fresh out of a speech.
Yes, I
Can you
did.
tell us more about the topic that you just talked about?
Sure. Yeah, it was a whole host of things about the future of news.
Okay.
And, 10 years ago when Steve and I were starting Reddit, I could have never expected I would be on stage here in Dubai talking about the future of news. But, what started as a project that two college kids did is now one of the 10th or 9th largest sites in the US, and certainly for the Western media sets the agenda online in terms of what bubbles up there on the thousands of different front pages is what blogs and many media outlets are reporting later in the day. Yeah. And I can only hope we'll continue to see that expressed throughout the world.
How did you start? I mean, there's always, sometimes it's not as obvious, but sometimes it is obvious. And how did you jump into this idea?
We actually got rejected for another idea. We had wanted to build, this is 2005, we wanted to build a way to skip lines and order from your phone. So that instead of, there's a big line at Starbucks, instead of waiting in line, you would, a few blocks away, just type in your order and then just
by the time
it would
you're
get sent, you pick it up, exactly. Problem was it was way too early for that. There were no smartphones back then. Restaurants, cafes were still, most of them weren't even online.
It's crazy to think that you thought about that when we didn't have smartphones.
We got that
and
part
now you
right.
see it all
and
over.
Now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But our timing was off. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs have that problem where great ideas are just a little too early. Ours was way too early. And we got rejected for this fund called Y Combinator that we'd applied to take investment. We wanted to get some of their money and their experience and their tutelage to help us grow an amazing company. We thought it was going to change what's called My Mobile Menu, or And we're like, is going to change the world.
Okay.
But they rejected us because they said all those things. It's too early, mobile's not here, et cetera, et cetera. And that was tough. So the next day, we were on our way back home and they called us back. And I remember picking up the phone and Paul, who was one of the founders, said, listen, we still don't like your idea, okay? So, but if you change your idea, we'll let you in. We like you too.
Okay.
So change your idea, come up with something that you'll use every day to solve whatever problems you have, we'll let you in Y Combinator. And so we said, great, we'll do it. Forget we'll go right back to Boston and we'll come up with something else.
I'm a Bostonian.
Oh, right on.
4 years Northeastern.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, well, we were in Somerville. That's
Okay.
where our apartment was. That's where Reddit launched from. And it was all because we got rejected for this other idea.
So it was kind of a blessing in disguise.
Oh yeah, very much
That's
so.
when Reddit was formed as an idea?
Yeah, that's when we got started.
That's 05?
Yeah, 2005. We launched June of 2005. We've been working on the code base for probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then just got it online.
Pretty cool. Now, finally, how do you feel about being part of the first Arab Social Media Summit and the way forward for something like this?
Well, this is a great honor. This is so awesome. I am expecting this. So I'm here not at South by. I chose here. South by Southwest is like the conference in tech back in the States. But what's so interesting here is that you have, if you look across the Arab world, so much opportunity for growth, especially if you look at things like mobile. You have the internet in the hands of more and more people every day on devices, computers, that are incredibly powerful. I mean, compared to the things even 10 years ago we were building Reddit on, I mean, it's amazing what we have in our mobile phones. And that's all opportunity. So I think like most entrepreneurs, thinking globally, and this is, I have a feeling this is going to become an event that's not to be missed.
Very untapped region for digital and social media, and it's huge, by the way. We have one of the highest ratios in the world for mobile phone usage per pupil.
And I hope Reddit will be a big part of it. I hope next year, if you guys do this again, there'll be a giant Reddit alien head floating up there with the Twitter bird.
Hopefully. Well, good to have you here.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll see you next year.
Thank you. Shukran. Thanks, man.